Good day, everyone. Operation management plays an important role in the success of any business, and as an area of management concerned with designing and controlling the process of production and the designing business operations in the production of goods or services. In the context of hotel operation course, as student, I am going to analyze the various jobs found in restaurant, organizational structure of a restaurant by Hannah Wickford. The sous chef is the executive chef's right-hand man. Restaurants have very specific staffing needs, and their organizational structure must be in line with those needs to function well. The size of the restaurant usually determines the ultimate structure. Staffers often take on more than one role in smaller establishments, but in restaurants, typically have the same basic framework, regardless of their size. The structure is designed to implement a system of responsibility and accountability with a clear chain of command. Types of ownership structure independent restaurants commonly have either a single owner, investors, or a small group of people who share ownership. Medium and large chain restaurants are normally either structured as corporations or are owned outright by a larger parent company. There are 5 different types of legal structures restaurants may follow. A limited liability company known as an LLC, sole proprietorship, partnership, S corporation, or C corporation. Owners. Owners are responsible for the business finances but often hire accountants to take care of the books. They are also the ultimate decision makers and are accountable for the general direction of the business. The general manager is responsible for the day-to-day operations of the business, including hiring, training, and overseeing the staff, making sure that the restaurant is maintained in proper operating condition and ensuring things run smoothly when the restaurant is open. Front of house staff. At the operations level, restaurant duties fall into one of 2 areas: front of house and back of house. The front of house staff is responsible for the restaurant's dining area, including setting up service, wait on customers, and interacting with the kitchen staff. If the restaurant serves alcohol, they are also responsible for the beverages and bar area. To the restaurant's general manager. Any banquet or catering operations also fall in this area of responsibility. The executive chef is responsible for the back of the house operations. This includes hiring and training kitchen staff, creating menu items, sourcing and purchasing foods, and helping determine the prices the restaurant should place on its meals. Bookkeeper. A bookkeeper is responsible for recording and maintaining a business financial transactions, such as purchases, expenses, sales revenue. The bar manager's rules and responsibilities may vary a little between businesses, but their purpose is to hire, train, and direct staff members and ensure the bar is well-stocked and operating smoothly. Kitchen manager responsibilities include supervising the food preparation and cooking, maintaining a fully stocked kitchen inventory, and complying with safety and cleanliness standards. The lead server is an integral member of the restaurant team that creates distinctively different and authentic experiences for our guests. He or she is responsible for greeting guests, taking orders and serving food and beverages, and checking on guest satisfaction. Lead bartenders, also known as head bartenders or bar managers, must make sure the bar operation runs efficiently. Head bartender duties and responsibilities include keeping a watch on inventory, managing other bartenders, and dealing with problem customers. Many also develop special drink recipes and consumptions. Restaurant assistant manager include ordering kitchen utensils and equipment based on our needs, managing contracts and payroll, and supervising restaurant staff performance. Restaurant servers are responsible for taking orders and serving food and beverages to guests. They play an important role in guest satisfaction as they are also responsible for checking on customers to ensure that they are enjoying their meals and take action to correct any problems. Bartender responsibilities include preparing alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverages for bar patrons, interacting with customers, taking orders, and serving snacks and drinks, assessing bar customers' needs and preferences, and making recommendations. Cooks, prepping meals by weighing, measuring, and mixing ingredients, cooking meals, checking ingredients for freshness, and arranging and garnishing dishes. You will also be in charge of ensuring that the kitchen and equipment are properly cleaned and maintained. Dishwashers washes all wares including pots, plants, flatware, and glasses by hand or using dishwashers. Correctly places and stores clean equipment. History of the restaurant. A long line of establishments preceded the development of the restaurants as we know it today. From ancient thermophilia, followed by medieval taverns and inns, offering food and shelters to travelers. It was only in the 18th century, on the brink of the French Revolution, that modern restaurants came into being, becoming convivial places to eat over the following centuries. From a dish to eat to a place in which to eat, the origins of the restaurant. The term restaurant first appeared in the 18th century in France. It referred to a reinvigorating meat broth in which people ate to refortify the body. It was not until the French Revolution and subsequent industrialization the culinary establishments such as we know them today began to appear and develop. However, the modern restaurant is not an entirely new creation. The activity of eating outside the home has existed for thousands of years. During classical antiquity, thermophilia served food and drink to customers of all social classes. Archaeological digs uncovered more than 150 such as places in the city of Pompeii, highlighting the importance of this type of establishment. The rather basic thermophilium served food in bowls carved into an L-shaped counter. The Middle Ages and Renaissance period saw the emergence of the tavern and inn in Europe, precursors to the modern restaurant. Often located on the side of a road, they offered food and shelter to travelers. The meal cooked was the discretion of the chef, and travelers had to settle for the single dish of the day. Meanwhile, under the Song Dynasty, 960 to 1279, in China, the empire's capital city was with establishments serving their customers a range of a la carte dishes. In the 17th century, going out specifically to eat full meal was not yet commonplace. From the latter half of the 18th century, Paris became the capital of the modern restaurant. According to legend, in 1765, a man by the name of Monsieur Boulanger was the first to open an establishment offering a choice of restorative broths and even used the term restaurant on the sign over his door. Boulanger provides divine sustenance. Then, in 1782, Antoine Boulanger opened his eponymous restaurant, which made his reputation. The famous French gastronome Brillat Saverne praised him highly. It was one of the first luxury restaurants aimed at a wealthy clientele. With the outbreak of the French Revolution, chefs working for the aristocracy found themselves out of work. Those who escaped the guillotine opened their own restaurants to satisfy their fine tastes of their new clientele, the rising bourgeois. In Switzerland, the first restaurants appeared only in 1880. In the 20th century, lifestyles changed and eating in restaurants at lunchtime became commonplace for many workers. Restaurants started to specialize and target their clientele. Eating in a restaurant in the evening began to be associated with a leisure activity combining discovery, pleasure, and conviviality, an outing with family or friends away from household dining room. The areas of food and beverage operations called for varying levels and rules in managing the day-to-day running of the business. In this lesson, you will learn more about the rules and how they contribute on a restaurant success. Restaurant management. Think of the last and hopefully one of the few unpleasant restaurant experiences you've had. Maybe your food was cold or your water spilled a beverage on you. Perhaps it was a bad encounter with another guest or a longer than normal wait time than to get a table. Did you ask to speak to the manager? Do you know that the manager you spoke with is probably one of the several managers in a hierarchical or ranked system of management of that operates behind the scenes in a food and beverage operation? Thank you.